Okay. So the points what we have seen in the previous lecture. So we have started with the concept that why the consumers are considered as important stakeholders for any organization. If consumers are not there, probably there will not be any sale for the particular product and business cannot be in profit. Okay, so that's why the consumers are important. That point we have seen. Then we have discussed what are the ethical issues in the marketing management. So whenever the marketing is considered, that is basically to make the advertisement of the product or advertising and giving the information about the product to the customer. That is the main aim of the marketing. Marketing management madle ethical issues आपण study केले. Okay, my screen is visible. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so ethical issues in the marketing that we have seen in the yesterday's lecture. First is in product policy. Then second, ethical issues in the marketing communication that we have considered. So anyhow, let the marketing be at individual level or at the social level. No any wrong information or any vague information should be given about the product to the customer. That was the second point. And third, reinforce consumption and materialism. Okay, so just to have the or just to get the cost whatever has been consumed for production. So one should not compromise with the spiritual values. That is the concept here we have discussed in the third point. Okay, so these are the three and fourth it is ethical issues in the प्राइसिंग. मग मार्केटिंग मध्ये प्राइसिंग ची रिलेटेड काय इथिकल इश्यूज होऊ शकतात ते आपण डिस्कस केले. चार टाइपचे प्राइसिंग इश्यूज आहेत. एक्सेसिव्ह प्राइसिंग means having the more cost, increasing the cost too much, price fixing, second we have seen, then predatory pricing and deceptive pricing. So these 4 points we have seen in the ethics in the marketing. Okay, so after that we have started with the point ethical issues in the channel of distribution. So I have discussed channel of distribution means what. Can anyone tell some examples of channels of distribution in business? Tell some names or examples for channels of distribution. This point we have discussed yesterday. So can anyone tell what are the channels of distribution? Example सांगा. जे डायरेक्ट कंझ्युमर आणि प्रोड्युसर ह्याच्यामध्ये जे काही पीपल इन्व्हॉल्व असतात that we are calling it as channel of distribution. So can anyone tell examples for channel of distribution? Yes, Vaishali, can you tell channel of distribution कुठले कुठले सांगा. Are you there in the lecture? Yes. Wholesaler and retailer. Okay. These are the channels of distributions. Okay. So that we have seen. त्याच्यामध्ये ethical issues काय येऊ शकतात. That should be avoided. Then ethical issues in marketing strategy. So that point first targeting on vulnerable consumers. म्हणजे जे illiterate आहेत किंवा either they are of more age or they are of less age. म्हणजे जे रेग्युलर कंझ्युमर ज्याला आपण म्हणू शकत नाही किंवा ज्यांना ट्रेनिंग समजणं हे थोडंफार डिफिकल्ट असतं. And for that customers we have to give more training. That is called as the vulnerable consumers. Okay, so there the people come. So lack of sufficient education, information, or they can be easily get confused, or they can be manipulated because they are having more age, or they are having either less age. They are having any physical or emotional lacuna. अशा टाइपचे कस्टमर. फॉर एक्झाम्पल मी तुम्हाला एक सांगितलं होतं एखादं वॉशिंग मशीनचं ट्रेनिंग द्यायचंय तर देन that training can be easily given to some literate person, whereas if the training has to be given to some illiterate person, then more care needs to be taken. Okay, so these all are called as the vulnerable customers or vulnerable consumers. So marketing strategy मध्ये हा पहिला ethical issue आहे. And second, it is the consumer exclusion. So in some cases the consumer may boycott some product किंवा ते एखाद्या प्रोडक्ट वरती बहिष्कार टाकू शकतात. So or sometimes what happens because of high cost of the product. आता जर एखादे काही स्पेसिफिक प्रोडक्ट आहेत जे फक्त म्हणजे economically high class people can only purchase and that cannot be purchased by the lower economical people. Okay, that all the things are there in the consumer exclusion. Okay, then access exclusion, condition exclusion, price exclusion, marketing exclusion and self exclusion. ह्या सगळ्या पद्धतीचे exclusion product वरती येऊ शकतात. Okay, that point we have seen. Now the next point we have to see ethical challenges in the global marketplace. Global market मध्ये ethical challenges consumer ला कुठले फेस करावे लागतात, that we have to see. Okay, so here the basic problems which we have to consider as ethical challenges in global marketplace. So I will just first tell names of that challenges. So first one, it is reproduction of consumption. Then second point, it is dislocation of production and the consumption. And third one, it is the cultural homogenization. Okay, and fourth one, it is new forms of the resistance. So these four specific challenges are faced in the global marketplace. So when the business it is shifting from domestic level to the global level, these four ethical challenges we have to consider. Okay, so we will consider it one by one. So the first ethical challenge is okay. So the first ethical challenge that has to be considered is reproduction of consumption. Okay, we will see these points one by one. लक्षात घ्या, बेसिकली आपण काय बघतोय, जेव्हा एखादा बिझनेस डोमेस्टिक लेवल पासून ग्लोबल लेवलला शिफ्ट होतो. वी हॅव डिस्कस्ड सिमिलर पॉइंट्स सो मेनी टाइम्स बिफोर दिस पर्टिक्युलर पॉइंट, बट एव्हरी टाइम देर इज स्लाइट डिफरन्स इन द चॅलेंजेस व्हॉट एव्हर वी आर डिस्कसिंग. पहिलं तर आपण बेसिक बघितलं की कुठलाही बिझनेस जर डोमेस्टिक लेवलला करणं दॅट इज इझी, बट वेन यू आर शिफ्टिंग टू द ग्लोबल लेवल दॅट इज डिफिकल्ट टू मॅनेज दॅट. Okay, so first ग्लोबलायझेशन मध्ये पहिले इथिकल चॅलेंज काय आहे ते आपण बघतोय. सो फर्स्ट वन इज रिप्रोडक्शन ऑफ कन्झम्पशन. ह्याचा अर्थ काय होतो की आता डोमेस्टिक मार्केटमध्ये I will explain it in very simple language. Here is somewhat difficult terms are used. आता बघा, कुठलाही बिझनेस जेव्हा डोमेस्टिक लेवल वरून ग्लोबल लेवलला शिफ्ट होतो तेव्हा कंझ्युमरचे रिक्वायरमेंट वाढणार आहे का कमी होणार आहे सांगा मला. सपोज यू आर सेलिंग सम प्रोडक्ट ऍट युअर लोकल लेवल, द डिमांड इज लेस. इफ यू आर सेलिंग इट ऍट कंट्री लेवल, डिमांड विल बी इन्क्रीज. अँड व्हेन यू सी द ग्लोबलाइज्ड मार्केट, त्या प्रोडक्टची डिमांड जी आहे कस्टमर कडून ती वाढेल का कमी होईल मला सांगा पहिल्यांदा. येस औदुंबर, कॅन यू टेल. वाढणार. Okay, so when we say the global market, obviously in that business the demand for that particular product is going to be increased. Okay, and then when that demand is going to be increased, we have to manage the material in such a way that the required number of items will be produced for that particular प्रोडक्ट. म्हणजे आता काय काय टेक्नॉलॉजी आहेत. फॉर एक्झाम्पल global communication technologies such as satellite television, internet has meant that the promotion of consumerist lifestyle now take place not just within national borders but on the global scale. And as in the domestic market for various products have matured in developed countries, many companies have increasingly to expand through the development of new international market. So whatever the material you are going to use for production of that material, that should be properly managed. And particularly when we say that material, जर प्रोडक्शनची डिमांड वाढली तर ऑब्वियसली whatever material you have to use for that particular product, that material demand is also increasing. But when you are going to produce that particular material, or whenever you are going to have requirement of lot of material for getting any manufacturing of the product, simultaneously you have to look at how you are going to produce that material and how you are going to consume that particular material. म्हणजे फॉर एक्झाम्पल एखाद्या sometimes it may happen that you are going to cut the trees or you are going to make some negative impact on the environment just for production of your particular material. Okay, so that should not happen. जे काही मटेरियल तुम्ही त्या प्रोडक्टला मॅन्युफॅक्चर करण्यासाठी वापरणार आहात, that material should be easily reproducible material. Okay, because that material, whatever you are going to consume for building that particular product, that is required again and again in more quantity because of the increasing demand and which is because of the globalization. Okay, so first ethical issue हा आहे की ग्लोबल लेवलला मार्केट केल्यामुळं प्रोडक्शनची डिमांड वाढते कारण कस्टमरची रिक्वायरमेंट वाढते. And the material which you are going to use for manufacturing the product, that material should be properly utilized and that material should be reproducible one. Okay, and it should not the case that the stock of the material you are going to consume up to the end. Okay, so that is the first ethical issue. Then the second ethical issue is dislocation of production and consumption. बघा आता एखादं मटेरियल जेव्हा किंवा एखादा बिझनेस आपण डोमेस्टिक लेवलला कन्सिडर करतो, at that time the place where it is manufactured and the place where it is going to be utilized, those are almost same. म्हणजे आता एखादं प्रोडक्शन तुमचं इंडियामध्येच तुम्ही केलं आणि इंडियामध्येच ते तुम्ही युटिलाइज केलं तर देर इज नो प्रॉब्लेम अबाउट डिसलोकेशन. पण ग्लोबलायझेशन मध्ये काय होतं की बऱ्याचदा सपोज सम मटेरियल इज मॅन्युफॅक्चर्ड इन इंडिया अँड दॅट मटेरियल इज गोइंग टू बी युटिलाइज्ड बाय व्हेरियस कंट्रीज. समजा इंडिया मधलं एखादं प्रोडक्ट तुम्ही युएस मध्ये सेल करताय बिकॉज ऑफ दिस ग्लोबलायझेशन, देन दॅट इज गिव्हिंग द प्रॉब्लेम ऑफ डिसलोकेशन ऑफ द प्रोडक्शन अँड द कन्झम्पशन. जिथं तुम्ही ते मटेरियल प्रोड्यूस केलेलं आहे तिथंच ते मटेरियल कंझ्युम न होता ते कुठं कंझ्युम होते, that is going to be consumed at some far away place, and that is creating the problem in the disposal of that particular material. Okay, so if we look to the massive rise in living standard and material wealth that accompanied economic growth in the developed world in the 20th century, one of the key mechanisms involved in this process was the strong association between those that produced the products and those that consumed them. So association between the consumer and the particular producer, that should be good. The mode of economic relations, this worked by employing increasingly number of workers in factories and in other production units, ensuring they were paid decent wages and thus fueling realistic demand for more products as those workers become better off. Okay, so the basic problem here is Globalization can be seen to weaken this mechanism by breaking the link between production and the consumption through outsourcing of production of Western consumer goods to companies in developing countries. म्हणजे जेव्हा there are two types of countries, developed and developing. So whenever the developing country is selling some material to the developed country, the environment it is changing, or the place is changing of manufacturing place and the utilizing place. So sometimes because of that also the ethical issues are coming in picture. जिथं produce होतो that country's legal aspect are different, and where it is going to be utilized, that country is having the different moral values and legal issues. Okay, so that's why it may create problem. So this is the second challenge, ethical challenge in globalization, dislocation of production and the consumption. Okay, then third is cultural homogenization. Homogenization means what? Unity किंवा एकात्मता असणे. Okay, so third challenge is the culture of each country is going to be different, and that is going to have the, or that may create some ethical issues when we are going to consider the market at the globalized level. Okay, so there is no unique culture for entire world. Each country is having different culture. That is the third ethical issue in the globalized market. So third criticism focuses on the exporting of global product and brands on local cultures and the effective homogenization of certain cultural packets. Okay, so the third issue it is there is no uniform culture all over the world. So each country is having different culture, so that may create problem in the globalized market. So third challenge is cultural homogenization, and fourth one it is new forms of resistance. म्हणजे आता एखादा प्रोडक्ट आपण जेव्हा लोकल लेवलला सेल करतो किंवा डोमेस्टिक लेवलला सेल करतो, at that time we know what oppose can be made for that particular product, or what kind of queries can be there from the customer, or what kind of complaints can be there from the customer, that we can predict, because we know our consumers very well at the domestic level. But at the globalized level, you cannot predict who is going to be your consumer, किंवा ते प्रोडक्ट यूज करणारा कोण असेल आणि त्याच्याकडून काय पद्धतीच्या तुम्हाला कंप्लेंट किंवा कुठल्या पद्धतीचा त्याच्याकडून विरोध किंवा बहिष्कार त्या प्रोडक्टच्या बाबतीत येऊ शकतो, that you cannot predict. So forms of resistance in global market are obviously more as compared with the forms of resistance at the domestic market. Okay, so these are the four ethical problems or four ethical challenges in the globalized marketplace. Okay, so ethical challenges of global marketplace, four challenges we have seen. Reproduction of consumption, म्हणजे ग्लोबलायझेशन मुळे एखाद्या प्रोडक्टची डिमांड वाढते, and to have the production quantity in more amount, you have to consider about the material which we are going to use for that particular manufacturing, and that reproduction should be properly done. That is first ethical challenge. Then second is dislocation of production and consumption, where you are going to use that product and where the product is manufactured, that two places are different. So that is the second ethical challenge, dislocation of production and consumption. Third is cultural homogenization. Culture is not unique for entire world. Each country is having different cultures. So this is the third ethical issue, cultural homogenization. And fourth is new forms of resistance. As you cannot predict who is going to be your consumer, so at the same time we are not able to predict also what kind of resistance we can get for the particular product. Okay, so these 4 ethical challenges are there at the global market. Okay, so now the next point we are going to see, that is consumers and corporate citizenship. हा point समजला का? Global challenges काय आहेत? Sorry, what are the ethical challenges at global marketplace? You just tell me. The ethical challenges are more in global marketplace as compared with domestic, or they are less at global marketplace as compared with domestic? Just give me answer for that one question, then I will go to the next point. Yes, give the answer. प्रश्न समजला ना सगळ्यांना? What question I have asked? Ethical challenges are more in global market, or they are more in the domestic market? Give answer for that one question, then I will start with the next point. Please don't make me to take your name separately. Give the answers by your own. Yes, Sagar Sawant is there. Sagar. If you are not responding, I have told you, I will just remove you from the meeting. Okay. Next, who will tell the answer? Priyanka, can you tell? Okay. Shreya has given the answer. Yes, it is correct. Ethical challenges are more at the global marketplace. Okay. Now the next point we are going to see, that is consumer and corporate citizenship. So in the corporate, what rights consumer is having and what things we have to consider about the consumer's right whenever he is going to purchase something. किंवा ह्या पॉइंट मध्ये काय बघणार आहे आपण, की एखाद्या कॉर्पोरेट मध्ये किंवा एखाद्या मार्केट मध्ये कंझ्युमर राईट्स कुठले असतात आणि एखादं प्रोडक्ट विकत घेण्याच्या आधी किंवा एखादं प्रोडक्ट विकत घ्यायचं का नाही हे ठरवण्यासाठी कंझ्युमरला काय राईट असतात, दॅट वी आर गोइंग टू सी अंडर दिस पर्टिक्युलर पॉइंट. ओके, कंझ्युमर्स अँड कॉर्पोरेट citizenship. So this point is having 2 sub points. First one is consumer sovereignty and the politics of purchasing, and second one it is the ethical consumption. Okay, so first point we will start, that is consumer sovereignty. Okay, so I will just show you some description about this consumer sovereignty. Though the term is somewhat new, the concept is very simple. So I will give you a simple example. For example, एखादा प्रोडक्ट आहे मार्केट मध्ये आलाय तो, that is very good, and all the price is good. Again त्याचे परफॉर्मन्स पॅरामीटर सगळे चांगले आहेत, सगळ्या गोष्टी चांगल्या आहेत आयडियली. बट if that product is not purchased by consumer once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 10 times, if no one is going ready to purchase that product, whether the product will be sustained in the market, किंवा त्या प्रोडक्टचं परत प्रोडक्शन होईल का in that case? जरी प्रोडक्शन तो प्रोडक्शन करणाऱ्याला तो प्रोडक्ट किती चांगला वाटला, पण तो जर कंझ्युमरला आवडला नाही किंवा कंझ्युमरने जर तो विकत घेण्यामध्ये इंटरेस्ट दाखवला नाही, तर त्या प्रोडक्टचं प्रोडक्शन पुढे वाढेल का? Whether it will be there, its production will be increased? Obviously it will be no, because consumer is not liking that, consumer is not demanding that. So the product will not be manufactured in the next lot. म्हणजेच थोडक्यात काय म्हणायचं इथं की अल्टिमेटली कुठला प्रोडक्ट बनेल, किती प्रमाणात बनेल, who is deciding this ultimately as per this theory? Who is having final what we can say final hold on whether that product should be manufactured or not? Who is the final deciding person in this case? Consumer. So consumer sovereignty means what? So consumer sovereignty is a theory that states the fact that consumers have the power to determine which products or services are actually produced in a given economy, and it is an idea that places the customer's preferences in the center of the product development funnel. ओके, म्हणजे जेव्हा एखादा प्रोडक्ट कस्टमरला आवडत नाही तेव्हा इनडायरेक्टली काय होतं त्याचा अर्थ की दॅट प्रोडक्शन शुड नॉट बी देअर फॉर द पर्टिक्युलर प्रोडक्ट, सो दॅट प्रोडक्शन इज स्टॉप. मीन्स अल्टिमेटली consumer is the person who is going to decide what should be produced and what should not be produced. किंवा एखादा जरी प्रोड्यूस केला तरी तो किती प्रमाणात व्हायला पाहिजे, प्रायोरिटीने व्हायला पाहिजे का लास्ट व्हायला पाहिजे. All these things are ultimately controlled by whom? Tell me. Ultimately these things are controlled by which stakeholder as per this consumer sovereignty? Yes, Shreya. Who is going to control? Consumer. So the meaning of consumer sovereignty is this one only, simple concept. ह्या थेअरी मध्ये काय सांगतात की एखादं प्रोडक्ट फायनली कंझ्युमरच विकत घेत असल्यामुळं जर त्यांनी विकतच घेतलं नाही ते तर ऑटोमॅटिकली त्याचं प्रोडक्शन काय होईल? इट विल बी स्टॉप. मीन्स द डिसिजन ऑफ production of that product is ultimately made by the consumer. That is the meaning of this consumer sovereignty theory. Okay, so the same it is given here. It is a theory that states the fact that consumers have the power to determine which product or services are actually produced in a given economy, and it is an idea that places the customer's preference in the center of the product development funnel. Okay, that is the consumer sovereignty meaning. Okay, and this term is coined by English economist named as William, and he has published the article related to this concept in 1936, and he has put the consumers in the center of the business product and services development decision. Okay, and in his view, consumers are the final authority to determine which goods are most suitable to fulfill their needs, and that is the reason why their decisions, preferences, and habits should be the starting point of the new invention. Okay, so that is the concept of this consumer sovereignty. Okay, and again under this consumer sovereignty, it is a key concept with non-classical economics. So already we have discussed this point. What is the meaning of consumer sovereignty? There is one more term in this, that is consumer sovereignty test. Okay, so what is the meaning of consumer sovereignty test? So there some survey it is carried out of the consumers, and in that the information or suggestions of the consumers are taken related to this particular survey, and through that the next decision about the product it is made. Okay, मग consumer sovereignty मध्ये मेनली 3 फॅक्टर असतात जे कन्सिडर होतात ह्या टेस्ट मध्ये. सो फर्स्ट इज कंझ्युमर कॅपेबिलिटी. कंझ्युमर कॅपेबिलिटी मीन्स व्हॉट? द डिग्री ऑफ फ्रीडम फ्रॉम लिमिटेशन्स इन नॅशनल डिसिजन मेकिंग enjoyed by the consumers, that is from vulnerability or coercion. Okay, so what is the whether the consumer is having the freedom to make the proper decision related to the product, that point is considered. Information means whether the consumer is having all the information about that particular product properly or not. And third is choice, the extent of opportunity available to freely switch to the another supplier. So if the consumer is not happy from the product from particular supplier, then whether he has choice to switch to the other supplier or not. So these 3 points related to consumer are mainly considered in the consumer sovereignty test. Okay, so that is the first point in the consumer's right, that consumer sovereignty. Yes, obviously he is having right about purchasing of that particular material, because ultimately if he is not purchasing the material, it will indirectly affect on the production. की त्या मटेरियलचं प्रोडक्शन तिथं बंद होतं. So ultimately he is going to control whether the material should be manufactured or not. That is the also point in consumer sovereignty. Okay, then second point in the consumer's right, that is ethical consumption. Okay, so we will see what is the meaning of ethical consumption. So ethical consumption is about making the connection between a product, where that product is originated and in what context it has been produced, and it requires you to think before you shop, to consider just how your lifestyle affects other people and the communities as well as the environment. मग ethical consumption चा अर्थ काय आहे ते लक्षात घ्या. It is very simple. So ethical consumption म्हणजे एखादं प्रोडक्ट विकत घेण्याच्या आधी the consumer has right to think about where that product is manufactured, why that product has been manufactured, what is the basic intention behind manufacturing of that product. मी जर तो प्रोडक्ट विकत घेतला तर त्याचा इम्पॅक्ट एन्व्हायरमेंट वरती काय होईल, त्याचा इम्पॅक्ट आपल्या सोसायटी वरती काय होईल, ह्या सगळ्याचा विचार करून you have the right either to purchase that product or to deny with the particular product. हे जे राईट कंझ्युमरला आहेत हे सगळा ओव्हरऑल इथिकल विचार करून he will decide whether to consume that product, means whether to purchase that product or to deny that product. That particular right of customer, it is called as the ethical consumption. Okay, so once again I will repeat. तुम्ही जर एखादा प्रोडक्ट विकत घेणार असाल तर तुम्हाला अधिकार आहे की तुम्हाला काय काय विचार करू शकता तुम्ही, तो प्रोडक्ट कुठं बनलेला आहे. समटाइम्स वी आर हॅव्हिंग boycotting some other China products or like that, किंवा काही लोक फक्त स्वदेशी वस्तू वापरतात like that. तो कुठं बनलेला आहे, कुठल्या पर्पजने बनलेला आहे. तुम्ही जर तो प्रोडक्ट विकत घेतला तर त्याचा इफेक्ट सोसायटी वरती काय होईल, किंवा त्या प्रोडक्ट परचेसिंगचा इफेक्ट एन्व्हायरमेंट वरती काय होईल, ह्या सगळ्या गोष्टींचा विचार करून इफ यू फील इट इज नॉट गुड टू बाय दॅट पर्टिक्युलर प्रोडक्ट, then you can reject that. Okay, that is the ethical rights you are having about consumption of that particular product. Okay, मग काय काय करू शकता तुम्ही ह्या ethical consumption rights अंडर. Ethical consumption covers a range of different activities including boycotting certain companies in response to poor social, ethical and environmental record. बॉयकॉटिंग म्हणजे बहिष्कार टाकणे किंवा त्या कंपन्यांचे प्रोडक्ट घेणे बंद करणे. मग ह्या इथिकल कन्झम्पशनच्या अंडर तुम्हाला जर वाटलं की एखाद्या कंपनीचं सोशल रेकॉर्ड चांगलं नाही किंवा दे आर नॉट हॅव्हिंग गुड थिंग्स टुवर्ड्स द सोसायटी or they are doing unethical things, then you may stop purchasing any product of that particular company. That is first thing. Then for their poor social, ethical and environmental records, then buying non-animal tested products. आता काय काय प्रोडक्ट असतात ते हार्मफुल आहेत का नाही हे बघण्यासाठी ते एनिमल वरती टेस्ट होतात. That is totally unethical things, because ultimately animals, they are also having their lives. So one cannot put their lives into harm just for checking your product. So that kind of products also you can boycott, or you can avoid the products made by sweet shop or child labor. जिथं चाइल्ड लेबर करून किंवा मुलांना कामाला लावून जे प्रोडक्ट बनवले जातात त्या प्रोडक्ट वरती तुम्ही बहिष्कार टाकू शकता. अल्टिमेटली ह्या सगळ्या राईट थ्रू तुम्ही काय प्रयत्न करताय, यू आर ट्राइंग टू मेक द थिंग्स टू हॅपन विथ लीगल ऍस्पेक्ट. एखादी गोष्ट जर अनइथिकली किंवा इलिगली होत असेल किंवा त्याचे इफेक्ट जर चुकीचे होत असतील तर ऍज अ कंझ्युमर यू हॅव राईट to boycott that particular product, and that is your choice. Okay, that is called as the ethical consumption. मग बघा आता इथं ऍज अ कंझ्युमर म्हणून तुम्हाला काय राईट आहेत, ते दोन टाईपचे आहेत कंझ्युमर अँड कॉर्पोरेट सिटीजनशिप मध्ये. कंझ्युमर सोव्हरेनिटी अँड पॉलिटिक्स ऑफ परचेसिंग, अँड सेकंड इज इथिकल consumption. Ethically you can think and you can decide whether to purchase the product or boycott the particular product. Okay, so these are the two things that we have seen in this consumer and corporate citizenship. Okay, similar to the ethical consumption, there is one more point, or one more definition is given here. Ethical consumption. Ethical consumption is conscious and deliberate choice to make certain consumption choices due to personal moral beliefs and values. If something is not proper as per your moral values, you have right to deny for purchasing of the particular material. One cannot force you to buy that particular material. Okay, so that is also the point in ethical consumption. Now the next point we are going to see, that is sustainable consumption. Okay, so you first try to understand sustainable consumption means what. की जेव्हा एखादी गोष्ट प्रोडक्शन साठी किंवा एखाद्या प्रोडक्टला जेव्हा डिमांड असते तेव्हा यू आर मेकिंग प्रोडक्शन ऑफ दॅट पर्टिक्युलर प्रोडक्ट. बट व्हेन यू आर मेकिंग प्रोडक्शन ऑफ दॅट पर्टिक्युलर प्रोडक्ट, त्या प्रोडक्शन साठी जे मटेरियल तुम्ही कंझ्युम करणार आहे ते अशाही पद्धतीने कंझ्युम नाही व्हायला पाहिजे की तुमच्या पुढच्या पिढीसाठी ते मटेरियल काही शिल्लक राहणार नाही. सो व्हेन यू आर गोइंग टू कंझ्युम एनी मटेरियल फॉर प्रोडक्शन पर्पज or manufacturing purpose, that consumption should be in sustainable manner. For example, आता नॅचरल रिसोर्सेस आहेत, पाणी आहे. then again if you consider one simple example, आता पेट्रोल आहे. पेट्रोल जर आपण अशा प्रमाणात वापरलं कंटिन्युअसली, and if we don't think about the future generation, and it may happen that there will not be anything remaining to be used by the future generation. त्या कंझम्पशनला आपण सस्टेनेबल कंझम्पशन म्हणू शकतो का? If the natural resources are overutilized and such that there will not be any resources available for the future generation, then definitely that we cannot call it as a sustainable consumption. So sustainable consumption means what? So sustainable consumption is the use of material products, energy and immaterial services in such a way that their use minimizes impacts on the environment, so that human needs can be met not only in the present but also for the future generation. फॉर एक्झाम्पल, तुमचा एखादा प्रोडक्ट आहे, त्या प्रोडक्ट मधून असं काही गॅसेस निर्माण होत आहेत की ज्याच्यामुळे पोल्युशन होत आहे किंवा एन्व्हायरमेंटल लेयर्स आर गेटिंग डिस्टर्ब, देन अल्टिमेटली इट विल इम्बॅलन्स द layers, or it will imbalance the environmental aspect, and that will not come under the sustainable consumption. Okay, so you just read this definition of sustainable consumption once. So sustainable consumption means what? Utilizing the material products or utilizing the available resources or utilizing the raw material in such a way that it is available for the future generation also. Means utilizing it properly. That is the meaning of this sustainable consumption. Okay, so this is the another issue in the customers, right? Or that is the ethical issue in related to the consumer. Okay, so how the sustainable consumption for any material can be made by consumer also, that we will see. आता sustainable consumer sustainable consumption ह्याच्यामध्ये actually producerचा पण role important आहे, and in some way the consumer can also help for the sustainable consumption of any product. Okay, so we will see what are the steps to have the sustainable consumption. Okay, so the steps for sustainable consumption are, आधी sustainable consumption म्हणजे काय लक्षात आलं का सांगा मला? I will just repeat the definition. Sustainable म्हणजे टिकून राहणे. Consumption म्हणजे काय? Usage or to use something or to consume something. So sustainable consumption is use of material products, energy and immaterial services in such a way that their use minimizes impact on the environment so that human needs can be met not only in present but also for the future generation. एखादी गोष्ट कंझ्युम करताना त्या गोष्टीच्या मॅन्युफॅक्चरिंग साठी लागणारा मटेरियल कंझ्युम करताना ते अशा पद्धतीने कंझ्युम करायला पाहिजे की इट इज नॉट हॅव्हिंग एनी निगेटिव्ह इम्पॅक्ट ऑन द एन्व्हायरमेंट or that material is available for your future generation also. Means sufficient stock of the material will be maintained for the future generation also. That is the meaning of sustainable consumption. Now there are 5 steps for the sustainable consumption. So before going to these 5 steps for sustainable consumption, we will see one more definition of this SC. Sustainable consumption is use of goods and services that respond to basic needs and bring a better quality of life while minimizing the use of the natural resources, toxic materials and emission of waste and pollutants over the life cycle. So materials are using the natural resources, means they are minimizing the use of natural resources, then avoiding toxic materials and avoiding emission of waste and pollutants over the life cycle. Okay, that is the sustainable consumption definition. Now there are 5 steps for the sustainable consumption. The first step is producing environmentally responsible product. We will see one by one. First is producing environmentally responsible product. Second is product recaptured. Then service replacements for products. Fourth is product sharing. And fifth, it is reducing the demand. Okay, so first step is producing environmentally responsible product. Means what? Now see, these are 2 cycles. जर एखादं मटेरियल फक्त युटिलाइज झालं तर we cannot say that it is reproducible or it is recyclable. But if that material is in a position for available for reutilization, then we can say that material it is environmentally responsible product. Okay, so there are 2 flows for these resources. बघा, extraction, एखाद्या मटेरियलची मॅन्युफॅक्चरिंगची स्टेप कशी असते बघा. आपण आधी स्पेसिफाय करतो एखादं मटेरियल कुठले लागणार आहे ते. देन वी आर मॅन्युफॅक्चरिंग दॅट मटेरियल. Then the material is distributed. Then it is consumed. The material it is consumed, and then last one it is the disposal. मग ह्या पहिल्या लिनियर फ्लो मध्ये कुठंच हे लास्टचं मटेरियल परत रियुटिलाइज होत नाही. त्यामुळे दिस इज नॉट रियुजेबल मटेरियल. बट व्हेन वी से दिस सर्क्युलर फ्लो ऑफ रिसोर्सेस, एक्सट्रॅक्शन होतं मटेरियलचं, मॅन्युफॅक्चरिंग होतं, distribution होतं, consumption होतं, product is recaptured, means along with disposal some part of the material can be reused again. That is called as the product recapture, and this is the reproducible material we can see. Okay, so these 5 steps we will see in the next lecture for the sustainable consumption. Sustainable consumption म्हणजे थोडक्यात अवेलेबल असणारे रिसोर्सेस नेक्स्ट जनरेशनलाही अवेलेबल राहतील. ऑन दॅट फ्रंट वी हॅव टू सी. और अनदर एस्पेक्ट, कंझ्युमर साइडने त्या मटेरियलची डिमांड किंवा प्रोडक्शन कमी कसं करता येईल ह्याचा ट्राय करणे. दॅट ऑल द थिंग्स आर देअर इन द स्टेप्स टुवर्ड्स सस्टेनेबल consumption. Okay, so these 5 steps we will see in the next lecture. So we will stop here today. We will stop here. You just type your numbers in the chat box and you can leave the meeting.